In 2020, buying a pair of sneakers at retail was basically printing money. You'd pay $180 for a pair of Travis Scotts, list them online, and sell them for over $1,000. Teenagers were making six figures out of their bedrooms. Sneakers weren't shoes anymore. They were an asset class, traded like stocks on platforms literally built to copy the stock market. And today, roughly half of the new sneaker releases sell for less than retail on the resale market. Meaning, if you buy two pairs to flip, one of them statistically loses you money. This is the story of how a $6 billion side hustle collapsed in 5 years, and what it teaches you about every bubble that came before it. To understand the crash, you have to understand the machine. The whole flip economy ran on one word: scarcity. That's the first rule of supply and demand. When supply is limited and demand is high, price goes up. Brands like Nike and Supreme engineered that on purpose. Limited drops, 10,000 pairs for a million buyers. The people who lost the raffle had exactly one option: pay a reseller. Then came the platforms. StockX launched in 2016 with a genius pitch: a stock market of things. Real-time pricing, bids and asks, just like Wall Street. Every shoe had a price chart. And when you give something a live price chart, people stop treating it like a product and start treating it more like an investment. The pandemic poured gasoline on it. Stimulus checks, everyone stuck at home, nothing to spend money on. Resale prices hit double and triple retail on hyped Jordans and Dunks. In 2020, 58% of all sneaker releases traded at above retail. By April 2021, StockX raised money at a $3.8 billion valuation. At the peak, some resellers were doing some serious volume. One reseller, Vernon Sims, reportedly built a $10 million business, and not by hitting home runs, but making 20 to 25 bucks a pair, thousands of pairs at a time. And that detail matters. Remember it. Here's the thing about scarcity: it only works if it's real. Around 2022, Nike looked at the resale market and made a decision that would kill the golden goose. All that profit resellers were making, Nike wanted it. So they did the one thing that the flip economy couldn't survive. They made more shoes. The Panda Dunk, once a hyped, hard-to-get shoe, got restocked until it was sitting in every mall in America. Adidas did the same thing with Yeezys after splitting with Kanye. And every restock wave knocked prices down even further. Yeezy 350s dropped 26% as restocks hit. This is the part of every bubble where the fundamentals catch up. Sneakers were being priced like rare collectibles. But unlike a vintage Rolex, a shoe company can just print more supply. And a bubble, by definition, is when the price of something detaches from what it's actually worth. So, like tulips in the 1600s, Beanie Babies in the 90s, and NFTs in 2021. Sneakers had joined that list. Then the outside world piled on. Inflation squeezed buyers. Nike's own sales slumped, with revenue in China collapsing 17%, and the culture moved. The same kids who camped for Dunks were now buying Asics and Salomons and Mizunos, shoes with no resale premium at all. By 2024, the scoreboard flipped. That 58% of releases trading above retail, it's down to 47. Let me show you why that number is a death sentence. Because this is a margin problem. And a margin is just what's left after all your costs. Say you buy a Jordan Retro to flip, that's about $215 after tax. The platform takes roughly 13% in seller and processing fees. Shipping runs you another $15. To just break even, you need to sell the shoe for around $265. And the problem? Most general release Jordans are now sitting on resale labs at $180 to $220. The average flipper isn't making money. They're paying for the privilege of selling a shoe. Margins across the industry tell the same story. From around 100% profit per pair at the pandemic peak to 10 to 25% today. Remember Vernon Sims, the guy making $25 a pair on volume? Turns out he wasn't playing the game wrong. He was the only one playing it right. When margins collapse, volume is all that's left. The bedroom flipper with 10 pairs in a dream, that business model is dead. And nobody knows this better than StockX itself. A platform built on hype has to survive in a world without it. So watch what they're doing right now, because it tells you where the money went. In April 2026, they launched a service letting resellers buy and sell shoes without ever touching them. Inventory stays in StockX warehouses. And in June, they broke their own founding rule. After 10 years of new and unworn only, StockX now sells used sneakers. Live shopping is coming next. So read between the lines. The company that turned sneakers into stocks is pivoting to secondhand retail. Because the real market that survived the crash isn't speculation, It's regular people who just want shoes at a fair price. The industry still projects resale hits 30 billion by 2030, but it'll be a bargain market, not a casino. Every bubble follows the same script. Real value gets discovered, speculators pile in, prices detach from reality, supply catches up. And the people who survive aren't the gamblers. They're the ones with boring margins and real customers. The sneakers didn't change, the story around them did. And in every market, stocks, crypto, or shoes, when you're paying for the story instead of the thing, you're the exit liquidity. If you guys want more stories about the money behind the culture, subscribe, and bye-bye.